You guys got to go through the Lakers rares. Maybe pull them up in the marketplace.
Yeah.
We got some good Lakers rares and even Lakers legendary. You know, we got Coop, we got Byron Scott, we got James Worthy, we got the whole gang. But no, it was just such a blast. And even the magic in the rare set is incredible as well, of course.
So is Cooper, just by asking, is Cooper's is he a 3-point shot? Is he doing a Coop Dilute, a dunk, or is he playing defense? Because he did all three really well.
We've got 2 of the 3 in the Coop. Why don't you bring it up there, Jeb? Like
again, I mean, you're now speaking my language. Like,
yeah, we knew we needed to represent Coop, defensive player of the year this year. I think he might have even won it multiple times, but he won it this year.
And he just had those. He was really strong, but he's really thin.
You get those albatross wingspan.
There it is, and then he goes and dunks it. Oh yeah,
you recognize that?
And he looks at the fans.
That's sick.
What a time, peak showtime.
That's awesome.
So this is when NBA players didn't want to get muscular. So that's why you see them all thin, because they thought that would affect their shot.
Yeah.
That was still of that era. So all these guys, that's what you see. All these, you don't see many big bulky guys, but a lot of them believe that's what you're going to affect you won't be able to shoot the outside shot because.
Right. That's crazy. Let's look at a couple more of these.
Actually, Parrish with
it. Oh, Byron Scott.
Yeah, go Byron. That's good. Byron's a 3-pointer or it's a dunk? Another dunk? Looks like it's got to be a dunk.
Boom. Yeah. Purvis short. Didn't know what hit him. He did Purvis short twice like this in the same game. In close proximity to each other. This is just one of them. But Byron Scott could throw it down, right? So we wanted to be able to get that. We snuck that into the rare tier just as, one of the Byron Scott moments.
So do you know how they got Byron Scott, the story? So Norm Nixon was their point guard, and they had 2 point guards, and they basically wanted to get a shooting guard. And so that's who they traded from the Clippers when it was back then the San Diego Clippers before it became the LA Clippers. Right. And so people were really upset when we lost Norm Nixon. I wasn't once I saw Byron. It's like, dude can shoot, and then he could jump and dunk, and he filled the lane. Yeah, great, and it took us to another level. Then we added Worthy later down the road. So
yeah, he really grew with that team. He had some big games as a rookie, if I recall correctly. There you go. We're in the playoffs now.
Oh wow!
That's the first game of the playoffs.
Oh, I do not remember this.
Holy cow!
Oh wow!
Yeah, just like a 70-footer. Then you get a little magic walking through the tunnel.
Wow, that's cool. Wow,
that's really cool.
It's fun. Some of the obviously when we're dealing with
fat sleever, look at that. Play with Denver. Good ball player.
This is one thing. I was shocked at how many people on Twitter did not know who Fat Lever was. I mean, I think this is one of those examples where the name just is, as a result, he doesn't get lost in time. Like I've heard that name so many times growing up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, for me, I see all these different names. And I can remember a large number of them. So Fat Lever was a very good ball player.
Yeah. He was named All-NBA this year, and not an All-Star, but was named to the All-NBA second team. And here's a fun fact about Fat Lever this year. He averaged like 19, 8, and 8 this season.
Wow.
Which these days the stats are just crazy, right? With what Luka and Russell Westbrook and all them put up. But up until, the 2017 and beyond, the only players who'd accomplished this feat were like Oscar Robertson, like Magic Johnson, MJ did it once, and Fat Lever was in that combo as well.
That's crazy.
Just versatile, could do a little bit of everything on a Nuggets team that just had plenty of offense. So it's fun.
Guys, there's a lot. Dantley's good. Mark McGuire's good. Good Parrish. Actually, I do want to see what Robert Parrish is doing.
Yeah, I want to know if you remember this Parrish context. This is in the playoffs, second round. They're trying to go back to back, right? As they obviously won in '86. Great year for the Celtics, but this playoff run, they were so badly injured. Robert Parrish, one of them.
Is that against the Bucks?
Yeah, I think it's second round. Yeah, second round. Then they want to play the Pistons in the conference finals. Right. But Parrish sat They didn't think they'd be able to get him back on the floor, but then he came back for game 7, made some big stops. I think him and Mikhail just went crazy on the boards. And obviously Parrish with a big defensive stop here. And look at Dennis Johnson just diving into the crowd.
There's a guy who's underrated is also Dennis Johnson's and his basketball IQ. So one of the famous plays is when it's not that year, but it's in one of those years where Bird steals the ball at the end of the game with the last second. But the biggest thing, he feeds cutting to the hole.
Yeah, DJ. Yeah, Dennis Johnson.
And DJ had basically one of the things that I've heard the backstory to it. DJ knew the two of them have a keen sense. So as soon as he saw Bird going for the steal, he instantly cut for the hoop. If he didn't make that cut, there's no time left on the clock.
Yeah.
And he instinctively saw Bird saw DJ at the corner of his eyes, figured he cut for the hoop as he's going to steal the ball. I mean, this is how he thought. Strong basketball IQ.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big play from this playoff run.
Wow.
All right, now here we got Ewing, second year Ewing.
Monster. Wow.
Unstoppable. 43 points in this game.
He was back then.
Yeah.
He became a force.
That's incredible.
Sleepy Floyd.
Floyd. That's a name I recognize as well.
Oh, this is a moment against your Lakers. This is in the playoffs. You guys were beating up on the Warriors, I think.
Is this where one game he scored like 40-something points against us?
This is it.
Is this it? Oh,
you guys, I love that you remember this game. For a refresher, and Jeb, for you, the Lakers were beating up on the Warriors. The Lakers were sort of destined to move on. But on this day, Sleepy Floyd, I think, staved off elimination. I think, maybe in game 4, and 51 points, 10 assists,
and literally, we tried everything to stop the dude. We knew he was going to get the ball. We knew he was going to do it, and he was going to have the ball in his hands, and he was going to shoot it. And anything he threw up at the hoop literally went in. It was like, are you kidding me? This guy, he's called Sleepy.
Sleepy. Yeah. The performance of a lifetime for Sleepy, and so we're excited to be able to have stuff like that. So
that's for me. I clearly remember that game. Oh my gosh. Oh, Lambier. Now this is a guy I have never liked.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people said that.
Austin's a Pistons fan. So did you? Was this before your time, Austin, or did you get to watch the Bad Boys?
I mean, I was alive. I was on Earth. I'm actually an '86 baby. So,
okay.
But growing up surrounded by Pistons fans, I was there were the stories that I heard as a young basketball player, as a high school basketball player, coaches, friends, like talking about the Bad Boys. And then the team that I would end up, really owning myself as a fan would be like the Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups era. The Grant Hill era, less successful, but Bill Lambier, Isaiah Thomas, all those guys.
Yeah,
very,
very close to my heart.
Yeah, and again, one thing people though is they only to recent people have realized he wasn't necessarily the nicest guy in the team nice guy. He just got away with behaving a certain way, and the other guys took all the heat.
Yeah, he had the baby face. So.
Right, but he was like, oh my gosh, he's such a sweet guy. These guys are all the bad boys. He's like this real amidst all the bad boys. No.
Yeah, just blame it on Lambier and Rick Mahorn.
Right. I understand that. And so you look at that now, you retro back and you can think through, because no, he was one of them, and that's the way they played. And Chuck Daly brought that mindset to them. We're going to win on defense. We're not going to outscore them. Really, what we can do is shut other teams down, and we have enough good scorers to keep us in the game. But that's gonna be our pride, is on defense. And Daly brought that mentality to them that they didn't have prior to that. And so hats off to Daly to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Later would coach the 92 Dream Team, if I recall
correct.
Correctly, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Jeb, you got to show your dad the legendary James Worthy.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And you just gotta show him all the legendaries, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's speaking my language with these Isaiah references. Mentioned Hakeem earlier. Gotta go through
yeah,
the James Worthy especially
I love Yeah.
amazing.
Big
You
game
know,
James. Big game James.
So this is a
Big
pretty
game.
small set. So let's start. We'll start with Worthy.
Yeah.
Big game. Let's see. Big
So
game.
tell me if you remember this play.
Playoffs. Oh yeah, I do. And again, I 100% do.
Yeah.
I 100% do. A hustle play. Is it towards the end of the game, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
So it's a really a key moment in the game was this knockaway steal. And again, it's from this is total. Yeah, that's a great choice.
Yeah. This was the play that Pat Riley, in a series that included the junior skyhook in game 4, Pat Riley called this play in game 6 the play of the series. We found an old newspaper article from the time. A momentum kind of shifting, a sort of a momentum clinching play, hustle play, gets the steal, gets the assist. Magic finishes it off with a dunk, and the team would just go cruising to, I think, the game 6 victory. So you guys hoisted a trophy today.
Yeah, wow. and I remember when we drafted Worthy, and it was like, which to me he was such a good fit, and people, he's a great shot. He could dunk the ball. He played good defense. He's just had a great game, so he instantly made an impact on a world championship team. I think basically we could go back to back.
Yeah.
If we didn't have Worthy, we're not getting that back to back. There's no way. He is that missing piece for us.
Yeah.
All right. On the flip side, we have Kevin McHale, legendary moment.
Yeah. Kevin McHale, Larry Bird quoted as saying he felt like Kevin McHale should have won the MVP this year. Obviously, that went to Magic. But McHale, another player that was just besieged by injuries in the playoffs. The Celtics team couldn't catch a break. Kevin McHale had a broken foot and a sprained ankle in this one, and you can see he's wearing a walking boot. He's wearing it, and he's playing, and he's dunking. The doctors told him not to play. He's risking his career and his long-term sort of movement and mobility, but they were built different back then, and they're not going to do any load management. So he suited up and pushed his team. They'd obviously make it as far as
in one of those games, he scored like 30 something where he just injury and all. He was like he just played. Now he played through the pain. The dude played like a beast mode. Rebounds, everything fed him down low. He had those long arms as a power forward that really gave people tough times. And he gave the Lakers a tough time.
Yeah. 26 and 15 in this one.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, very good.
The Isaiah, maybe. They're all fun. They're all fun.
Yeah. Well, we gotta go through all of them.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Is Dominique's a dunk? It has to be with Dominique.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Is he gonna pull it back? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's Dominique's famous dunk right there. The windmill.
Yeah. Boom. Textbook Dominique. He gets 57 points in this game, his career high, tied for his career high. But what I like about this one is he combined with a certain Chicago Bulls shooting guard whose names we will not mention. They combined for something like 98 points between the two of them. It was very much a duel between just two great dunking swingmen.
So who did he steal that from? Was that Jordan?
No,
definitely
wasn't.
No, there's no MJ in those frames. We made sure of it. So
yeah, MJ would not be happy.
Isaiah Thomas.
So there you go. So look at that dribble. Look at the handles right there. I mean, that's totally Isaiah.
What a shot!
This celebration, iconic.
Yeah. Wow,
that's sick.
So this is the game winner to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, this is I think it's in the first round.
Might
be the second round against the Hawks.
And that's what gets it. Look at that. And this is what wins the series.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Why does he have a first name on his jersey while no one else?
I don't know, but I love it. I don't even question it.
He always had it too.
Really?
Yeah. Isaiah always had it. So he grew up going to Magic's basketball camp as a kid. So that's like him and Magic were very close friends, and that's when that whole riff happened with Magic and him. All that, but all that stuff that happened between Magic and Jordan, that whole group, and Isaiah, and a lot of it stemmed from them leaving the court when the Bulls beat beat the Pistons, and Isaiah's the one who led the team off the court. No one knows that he led that team off the court to leave before the end of the game. We're just bailing it, and not to give these guys cred, and that stung with that whole group of core people.
There's a lot of just the dynamics between those relationships, but it was fascinating. But once upon a time, Magic, Isaiah, and Mark Aguirre, he's another player. He's in our rare set. They were great friends, and I think one of the years where that first year where the Celtics beat the Lakers in the finals, Magic kind of made a sort of mental gaffe, right? Do you remember that? Was beating himself up on it, like didn't call a timeout, or he did call a timeout. I can't recall. But he wouldn't leave the shower, and Pat Riley eventually had to send Isaiah Thomas and Mark Aguirre, who were in attendance, to just as his friend, right? Like they would all work out in the summers together. Pat Riley had to tap Isaiah and Mark Aguirre to go fetch Magic. That's how much they leaned on each other as a support network, which made that rift that would end up happening later in their careers. I mean, I think especially after the HIV announcement and stuff like that, I think things kind of that rift sort of happened, which is a shame because they were very close early on. Those friendships were really such a big part of what makes that era special.
Yeah, that's right. Isaiah did not want Magic back in the NBA.
Yeah. There was a couple players that was sort of a divisive topic. But, what do you remember about Hakeem early on? Because this, I'll tell you some context for this game. There's a kind of a milestone that players can do called a 5x5, where you get at least 5 blocks, at least 5 steals, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 points. And Hakeem Olajuwon did that in this game, and he also got a triple-double. So he was in double digits for points, rebounds, and blocks. The guy was incredible. When I look at him, especially with the footwork here, which is sort of a half dream shake. It's not a straight-up pure dream shake, which he was obviously known for. But you can just see that crazy athleticism, mobility, size, reminiscent of a Giannis from another era. So just an incredible feat from Olajuwon. We wanted to.
So why isn't that called a handle? Hakeem Olajuwon had handles.
he does have a handle when you think of it that way.
I mean, really, look at this move. Look at this. Boom, boom. That's a handle.
He loses them. He loses the defender.
And he did that all the time on people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the shake move. The shake move was a handle.
Yeah,
right?
Dream shake. Yeah. No, he definitely.
But it's never been called the handle. The dude he had the best footwork of almost any player in the NBA because of his soccer background. And the dude and so you can look at that. That is a handle move. Yeah. He's just so big and tall, you don't call it that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I'm looking at that. That was totally who Hakeem was, but I was like, why was he never known for? That's one of the early. That's probably the best handled player, big man in the game.
I mean, to Austin's credit, kind of like what you're saying, he's like a Giannis from a previous generation. Like, I mean, his footwork. Before, one of the first things I learned about Hakeem, and I think it was because of being such a Kobe fan. I know Kobe did a lot of training with Hakeem early on in his career, and it was just pretty much just known across the league that Hakeem was like the guy when it came to footwork. Like he just truly cannot be matched.
Right.
Yeah. Well, when you think of Kobe's like baseline, sort of back to the basket, pivot, fadeaway, right? Like.
So the question would be, I wonder how Giannis looked at Hakeem from his as a childhood coming up as a Greek player, really coming from Africa. That's probably was one of his role models, had to be Hakeem the Dream. And probably I wonder if he watched moves of his to try to duplicate. It does remind me of him, of Giannis, but I wonder if he kind of, Kobe stole stuff from Jordan, right? These guys have plenty of video to watch to practice the same moves.
Yep. When I say stand on the shoulders of giants, we're just seeing all these players come up from generation to generation, just building upon stuff that's been done before and really adding their own twist to it, taking it to the next level. It's really fun.
Yeah. Right. And it's funny back then. So is this like, what year is this of his
86, 87.
No, but how many years?
He was in year 4.
Okay.
3. Sorry, year 3.
Year 3, because I remember people thought Samson would be better, and then Akeem basically blew that concept out of the door and moves like this.
Yeah.
Samson disappears off their radar.
Yeah.
And this guy becomes the center point post. And that really, he becomes, the team is built around Akeem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just insane to imagine the two of them in that lineup. Samson would struggle with injuries and stuff too.
Right.
But we got to take us home with the junior skyhook. We got to go to the junior skyhook.
I think this is my dad's.
This is my all-time favorite shot.
I think this was his favorite. This was his favorite moment on the site before it was on the site.
Yeah, it's one I've been asking for. I was saying, when you guys did the first Magic series, where's this baby skyhook?
Yeah. Oh, I love this one. I wish we could play this one in super slow motion for you.
Wow.
That was such a crushing moment, and it is in the Garden. It was the best. Watching that live, I was like, and it was total redemption for Magic.
Yeah,
total redemption for him.
Holy cow!
And he, if you can look, Kareem is wide open. Kareem becomes wide open because they're all shifting the Magic, and he goes for the hook because Magic said, "I ain't going to give up the ball this time.
Yeah,
I'm going to shoot it." It's one of the greatest moments. It's like, because literally 2 or 3 guys go with Magic. He could have dumped it off, and then
we knew
he wanted the shot.
We knew we wanted to get that sort of zoom in.
See, look at right there. Look at these. See how wide open Kareem is. See how literally wide open he is.
He goes for it,
and he so that's what's so much. I mean, I watched that live, and it was like, oh, I mean, it was like falling out of my seat. Show it, and I would remember saying, how many times can you see this? Going back and watching as much as I could because after all the sports shows, okay, then you see the sports shows on. I turn every time and channel, I go flipping around trying to see the shot over and over and over again.
Yeah.
As a kid, saying, wait, I gotta see that again. Yeah. I gotta see that again. I gotta see that again. I gotta live that moment again.
So what a time. Iconic moment in basketball history. We're just so happy to be able to have it in product here. Do you remember what happened before this?
Gosh, I remember the Celtics got up, and they made a shot at the other end to force this play. Yeah. Now, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. Larry hit a shot, a 3-pointer in the corner. That put the Celtics up, and so for context, this is Game 4.
Right.
The Celtics are up off of Bird 3-pointer that puts them up by 2. So the
Lakers are up 2-1 in the series, if I remember correctly, at this time. Correct.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So with like 7 seconds left or something, 12 seconds maybe, Larry Bird hits a 3 in the corner that puts the Celtics up by 2. Then, like, if the Celtics win that series, it's all of a sudden 2-2.
Right.
Going to Game 5 in Boston.
Right.
Because they do the 2-3-2 split back then.
Right.
So total momentum shift for Boston. Larry Bird, just a killer with an amazingly clutch shot. You might see this as a rare reward very soon. But it was not Larry's fate on that day. Yeah, I mean, there was a free throw in between these two. Kareem actually got a look right before this. He got 2 free throws. He hit one of them, but then the Lakers got the ball back with like 7 seconds left. Now they're down by 1. So they need to get a bucket or else they lose, and it becomes 2-2. And Magic pulls this off, gives them the lead, and a commanding 3-1 lead, and they would go on to win the series in 6 games. But like, this was like the sort of hinge point. I think that the fate of that series sort of. So
if I remember correctly, he didn't run out the clock with the shot. They had still 1 or 2 seconds left. We may be able to see it here. Let's make sure. I think that if you'll see someone calling timeout right after he makes a shot. Hold on. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, right there.
So there's a timeout call. There it is.
They're all calling timeout. Yeah, they're not celebrating.
So they're going to the board. So the game ain't over yet. Yeah. It ends up being the winning shot.
Yeah.
But it's because I remember that. It's like, okay, we haven't won yet. We haven't won yet. They still got burned. We haven't won yet.
Yeah, you're never safe as long as Larry is on the court. But we just wanted to be able to pack this footage with as much context as possible. The celebrations, we wanted to see Magic, sort of the look on Magic's face prior to the play. I love that the cameraman did that sort of zoom past Larry Bird. You'll see it when it loops. Then we got Michael Cooper, playing a quiet but huge role in all of this history.
Right. No, I mean, that moment it's my all-time favorite moment in basketball history for me. And so for me, all those little details are just so, and you guys do a great job of that. The intensity, because you're bringing, it's hard, which is great, is you brought in the intensity of the game.
Yeah.
How do you do that on a little video clip? Well, this is how you guys, so you guys did a great job, because that's right there. And even with Cooper doing this, and they're celebrating, and even with showing the timeout, whether you guys realize you did have that or not.
All right.
So that's like, okay, wait a minute. Wasn't there a timeout right after that? And then
I love that. I love that. That's what's sort of stuck in your heart all this time. That's so cool.
Yeah. So for me, I just remember all that stuff going on. So this is why it is, again, I'm a diehard Laker fan. And there it is, Bird calling timeout. But you see that with that rivalry, and it was the monkey. That was the monkey off the back game, where you knew we're up 3-1. We ain't gonna lose the series because we're coming at least 2 home back to LA, and there's no way they're gonna lose 2 in LA.
Yeah,
it's impossible. And so for my standpoint, it's like, finally we get to beat Boston.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is my all time. Now, I'm not going to ask for that asking Lois ask, but it is a great, whoever owns it, hey, enjoy your moment, enjoy that part. So thank you guys. I mean, that's one thing that's for me as a basketball fan. I grew up having cardboard cards, and I remember we're in Milwaukee, and then Justin makes the comment is, he was a cardboard card person, and that now you're able to own something that's actually live. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm the cardboard card guy. And it really made me, I already had an account, but that made me really buy in. Oh my gosh, I get to own pieces of an actual game piece, and they're mine to hold. I can't ruin them and play with them and destroy them and lose their value, because part of that as a kid, that's what you did. You had the cards. You kind of played almost like an imaginary game with your cards.
Yeah.
Putting different guys in different positions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See?
I got I have a lot of Kobe rookies that are not PSA grade 10s, because I was drafting them into lineups and, making just teams laid out on my bed, on the floor, anywhere,
Yeah. So you would totally get it. So to me, thank you, Top Shot, for what you guys have done. It's really made the game, brought it back, and bringing this back for me this is one of my favorite eras is this right here. So I was glad to hear. It's like, is this the Lakers baby hook year? Yes, it is. Oh, yes. Yeah. Are they going to give me that shot? And it's like, then I found that they were. It's like, oh my gosh, but it's really difficult to get. Okay, but you still put it in there. So
yeah, it was the golden ticket, hidden amongst the packs. But we knew, we're like, hey, we're telling the story of Magic Johnson. I like the opportunities that we have with these run it back sets and archive sets to really do a deep dive. Like I was saying, I really want to just like hold your hand through this era, like as if you're walking through a museum, and you can learn. There's all these exhibits. You don't have to read everything word for word, but it's there if you want to, or you can just go straight to the stuff that interests you. But we're laying it out. We're doing our diligence for posterity's sake to represent NBA history well, so that anybody, whether it's today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, there will be a place where people can just, I don't have to just look at numbers on a spreadsheet of who did what in 86, 87. I can feel the fandom, the emotion evoked by a fan at that time. So to me, that's just really one of the things I just get so excited about. And to be able to do that here, such a memorable year for Magic's story in particular, was just really satisfying. So I had a lot of fun.
So let me give a shout out. If you are an NBA player from this era, you guys have a card. Can you come online, watch your card, and do a video shoot of that particular play, because you're going to remember it in your own time frame. And for me as a fan, oh my gosh, to tell Magic tell the story from his viewpoint, or even Michael Cooper, whether those players talking about this shot, even the Celtics, that would add so much more feel for a different generation who was not there to experience that part of history. And so if you are an NBA player from this era, please come on and look at your card or a moment that you do it and comment about it. Yeah. This will be fantastic for us as fans and for the another generation to grab hold of the love that I grew up having for the game. I know you guys would love that. Yeah. So I'm calling you guys out. Magic, you in particular, please come back and comment on this. Bird, you're another guy I want to call out. I know, Jordan, you haven't shown up yet, but you please come and do it. These things. These will make another generation love this game even more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Nobody tells it better than the people who lived through it.
Right.
So.
Definitely. Well, I think that's a good place to end. Thank you so much, Austin, for joining us and ripping some packs with us and talking through all the moments. I had a lot of fun just listening to my dad, because as you can tell, he, like I said, he was super excited about this pack drop because it was something that he lived through. And like he said, he doesn't know all the players that play now, but even us doing this with him kind of blew my mind just to listen to him talk so much and remember so much from these players back then. So I think it's I love this set. I think this stuff is really cool, and I appreciate all the time and detail you guys put in to make this like truly something special, as opposed to just grabbing an assortment of players to go along with a couple of the big names, you know.
Yeah. Well, thanks. That means a lot. I appreciate hearing you say that. And thanks for, letting me in on this experience of you guys ripping these packs together. It's a pleasure. So
greatly appreciate. Love what you did. It just brings for me, like you said, a lot of feelings and emotions. And even if only one player I didn't know out of all that I saw. And so, and even with that, that means I missed someone.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for taking the time to check out this video. If you pulled something that you're really excited about, please feel free to leave a comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks once again to my dad and to Austin for joining me and for ripping some packs. And we'll see you guys next video. Please clap.